Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So in this video, my groupmate and I will be presenting about electron transport chain. My name is Amira Nasir binti Jamat and I will explain about the process of electron transport chain. Okay, but before that, let us see the outcome from this learning. Okay, first we will able to know about the process of the pathway of electron transport chain. Next, we are able to know about the deficiency of the cycle. In other words, we are going to know about the disease obtained when the process is abnormal. And lastly, we were able to diagnose the causes, symptoms, and treatment for the disease. First thing first, I will explain what is the electron transport chain all about. Electron transport chain is a cluster of protein that transfer electrons through a membrane within mitochondria to form a gradient of protons that drive the creation of adenosine triphosphate (ATP). ATP is used by the cell as the energy for metabolic process for cellular function. In other words, the electron transport chain is a process to generate ATP. This is a picture for the overall of electron transport chain cycle. First, mitochondrial NADH plus arrive directly at the ETC from the TCA cycle and immediately oxidize to NAD plus with its proton remaining in the matrix and its electron going to complex 1. As the electron arrive on complex 1, the complex immediately goes through a series of redox reactions. This reaction creates a proton pump within complex 1, pumping 4 protons from the matrix through the protein into the intermembrane space. The electron now transferred to mobile carrier Q and NAD plus return to its original source to pick up more hydrogen ion. FADH2 arrived to the ETC from the TCA cycle. FADH2 then oxidized to FAD with its electron and protons going to complex 2. FAD then returned to the TCA to pick up more electron and proton. Complex 2 goes through redox, but it does not create a proton pump. Mobile carrier Q also picks up all of the electron on complex 2 and shuttles the electron it collects to cytochrome complex 3. The electrons are then transferred to complex 3, which also immediately goes through redox reaction. This again creates a proton pump, pumping 4 proteins from the matrix through complex 3 directly into the intermembrane space of the mitochondrion. The electrons are now shuttled from complex 3 to complex 4 by mobile carrier C. As the electron transfers onto cytochrome complex 4, it immediately goes through another redox reaction. This creates a final proton pump, pumping 2 protons from the matrix cytochrome complex 4 directly into the intermembrane space of the mitochondrion. Complex 4 is the last step in the ETC, and the electrons that have been driving this reaction now need another place to go. To solve this problem, an oxygen atom which has a very strong attraction for electrons pick up 2 electrons from complex 4 along with 2 some free protons from the mitochondrial matrix to simply form water. In essence, the final acceptor of the electron at complex 4 is oxygen. This is referred to as metabolic water, and it actually makes up for 10% to 20% of total daily fluid loss. The many protons that this process pump in the intermembrane space create an imbalance in hydrogen ion concentration that the cell does not like. All cells prefer homeostasis, so to help relieve this imbalance, ATP synthase protein embedded. ATP synthase pumps several protons at a time back into a matrix. As these protons move into the matrix, enough energy is liberated to phosphorylate, thus synthesizing ATP. The ATP will then leave the mitochondria and go where energy it is needed in the cell for life process. This is the further explanation on electron transport chain process and include this chemosmosis. So let's watch this video together.